episode it is?
Yes, I do. Hello, everyone, and welcome around to episode 167 of the Down South Photo Show with me, Brendan Waits, here in Ocean Grove, Victoria, Australia, and the guy on your other screen or in your other ear if you're listening to the podcast. It is Cam Blake in Hobart, Tasmania, Australia. Hello, Cameron.
Hello, Brendan. How are you today?
Very well. Welcome back. We are back on the air. We had a week off last week.
Yeah, let me just turn the footy off. It's blinding me.
That's all right.
Yes, sucked in Carlton. You can't play football. Yes, you've had a week off. Oh, yeah, you didn't really have a week off. You have an interview, didn't you?
No, we had a week off, and the week before that, we had the lovely Felicity on.
Was that a week before that? Jesus.
Yes, that was 2 weeks ago. And the feedback that we have got on Flick's episode was absolutely wonderful. It is trending in our top 10 episodes for the year, so that's very cool.
Good. That is
and
good.
I think what the main attraction was that Felicity came across so well on the pod and spoke so well, but I think it was because she was an everyday photographer. She loves her photography. She loves going to the Bright Festival of Photography. She loves coming to our workshops. Yep. She's very, very keen on what she does. Keen amateur.
I believe she said ours was one of the best ever.
There you go.
I think her words, not ours, but
not prompted.
Not prompted? No, how much did we pay her for that episode?
No, people don't get. I don't get paid. Do you get paid?
Yeah, they get paid. I mean, you got a PayPal account.
No.
All right. That's where all the beer money's gone.
That's right. Shall we start with, straight off the top, a photo of the week?
Okay. Did you want to thank the 1,282 subs, or did you already do that?
I took this yesterday.
Okay. Hey, yesterday?
Yeah. Yes.
Did you take that from
the day before yesterday?
Did you take that from space?
Isn't it? So there's a place that I'd always wanted to go to, and living as close as I do to the Great Ocean Road, shame on me for not going there before now. It's a place called Teddy's Lookout, which is perched very high up above Lorne. And you look down and there's a big sort of curve in the Great Ocean Road. It's really cool. And I had got the big lens out, as I like to do, and just sort of scanning the scene. And then I was sort of looked across and went, oh, there's some cows in the paddock. What do they look like? Those aren't cows. Kangaroos hanging out in the afternoon sun. So it was really cool. So this is effectively an 800 millimeter lens done in the, as I say, late afternoon sun. The sun on the Great Ocean Road in winter disappears at about 3:30 in the afternoon, because you've got all the Otways there sort of blocking it.
How good's that for a workshop idea?
That's right.
Hey,
yes.
We're working 3 hours a day next year. That's awesome. Yeah. You want, it looks like it's taken from the International Space Station with like gigantic kangaroos.
Oh, so it's like the edge of the Earth, or maybe
like
the
edge
moonscape.
of the Earth. Yeah, moonscape or planet green with gigantic kangaroos. I
should have black and whited it.
Yeah, or
is black and whited? Is that a verb? Is that a verb? I should have black and whited it.
I don't know if it's proper English, but it's certainly out there. What about like come back and like put some stars in the black bit, so like it looks like it's deep space.
Okay. You mean drop in a sky, Cameron?
Yeah, drop a sky in for sure. You know what we should do? We should do an episode where we do the worst edit we possibly can.
That's actually not a bad idea. We should do that. I was cruising back along the Great Ocean Road and went, right, today's the day I'm going up to Teddy's. Really steep as well to get up there. The car nearly didn't make it. But I got up there, and there was a couple of tour buses up there, as there normally is along the Great Ocean Road. And there's 2 lookouts. So if you go to Teddy's Lookout in Lorne, make sure you drop down to the second lookout. It's the better one. No one went down to that except me. Everyone else was over the top. So I went down there and, got that. It was cool.
Cool. Are we going to try and kill our customers next year walking in there? We don't go there, do we?
No, it's sort of too far from where we hang out in Apollo Bay, but it's
okay.
We could go there on the way.
Could go and
if
make
we've
them
got
walk
people
up.
from Geelong.
And make them walk up.
Oh no, you park at the top. You actually walk down to this lookout.
Oh right, really? That's good. That's the kind of lookout. That's the kind of lookouts we're looking for. That's
right, exactly. Cam, have you got a photo of the week you have? I'm going to put on. Can I put on?
Yeah, put it on. You pick that one. Cool. So that is the Flinders Ranges, as you mentioned. I've been away a bit, which is good. That's the Woolpina Pound. It's got such an amazing landscape to it. It's got like big tectonic plate movement sort of feel to it, which it sort of is. But yeah, that was taken. That is folded, yeah. So that was taken out of a plane with no doors on it as we cruised around on a sunset. Yeah, so we took off, and the pilot's name was Cameron. Legend of what a name! And it was young Cheryl's first time in a plane without a door on. Needless to say, I would say if you tried really hard, you would not have been able to wipe the smile off her face.
Oh, very good.
She was very, very happy to be up there, and we got great conditions for all the flights that we did. So yeah, it was that was on our second last night, I think, or maybe the last night, one of the last nights. Yeah, we just had really nice weather, cold, but really, really lovely weather. Good mornings, good afternoons, and we had that nice sort of soft light in the middle of the day that you sort of get when it's a bit wintry. So yeah, lovely place. Yeah, I really do like going up there. It's a lovely place to explore.
Well, given that we've both got 2 photos of the week loaded up, here's my second photo of the week, and then we'll go to your second photo of the week.
It's 2 up Thursday.
Guess where this was taken from?
From the moon, another one.
This is from Teddy's Lookout. So Teddy's Lookout delivers. It's got a couple of really. So this is, geez, I'm going to get the name of this river wrong. I think it's a St. George's River or something like that. That's just near Lawn there. Not
Brown Creek.
Yeah, it kind of looks it, doesn't it? It had drone vibes written all over it. Yeah, but that's so. It's funny because I feel like I'm sort of pointing straight down with the big lens, but between there and further down back towards me is the Great Ocean Road. Right. Winds its way past here and then over a bridge and then off it disappears in the distance. But it was just a cool little composition, and again, the importance of using big zoom in landscape to pick out the landscapes within landscapes. It just spoke to me. It had some, sort of working in repetitive patterns, not only on the sand, but on the little peninsulas there with the little tufts of
grass.
Whatever that's grass.
Is that a little dog at the very top of the frame walking across the beach?
No, I thought it was too. It's actually just kelp.
Oh, right. Bloody kelp. Again, that could be the surface of the moon, or it could be, it almost looks like it's like one of those magnifying the microscope shots where it's, it's actually a tissue, but it's zoomed in at 5 million times.
Hard to pick if I didn't tell you what it was, but
yeah, it's cool. So,
and if for the win.
You edit that, is that sepia or something, or is it just edited?
Let me put it back in.
Edited to that way.
I think I probably removed a bit of the color. It was really. It wasn't even golden hour, but it was. I think because a lot of the tannins are in that creek. It had a real browny color to it. So I actually knocked probably about 15-20% of the saturation out of it.
Yeah.
Which is something underrated. I quite like doing that. Just to soften the hues and the tones, just to let it speak for itself, rather than having that whack of color that you don't necessarily always have to have.
I found it works good too for like if you're doing some people shots, people's faces get red, or they might be a bit sunburnt, or there might be one person's got a tan, next person's white. Sometimes just taking the saturation out by about 20 points can also just take that attention off the color a bit, which I think is good. So,
I think it's an underrated little technique, is to desaturate rather than oversaturate.
It's an unsaturated tool.
Yes, and now I know that this photo was yesterday.
That was yesterday. That was yesterday at a place called Cradle Mountain. Up there.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Actually, someone put up the Indigenous name tonight when I put this photo up, and I've never heard of that. Actually, I never heard it referred to. I can't pronounce it or remember it. Cool. But I put it up there, which is cool. So yeah, we're up there. Chelsea, a good friend of the show, who's just texting me now at the same time on my phone. We did a 2-day marketing your business with photography seminar up in Stanley for all the local businesses up there. But Chelsea's also 30 odd weeks pregnant and wanted to do a pregnancy shoot. So where do you go when you're pregnant and you want to get a shot in Tassie and it's absolutely blizzarding? You go to Cradle Mountain. So
where else?
We did a pregnancy shoot at sunrise down by Dove Lake there and Ronnie Creek. But we had, just as it happened, we drove down to the lake. The mountain cleared for 5 minutes. We literally had a pregnant woman running along the snow track, or shuffling along the snow track, trying to get in position, because like 2 minutes after, we didn't see the mountain at all, just disappeared again. So
yeah, right.
But yeah, it was a really lovely time and good moments, and Yeah, just got to be in the right time and the right place at the right time.
Absolutely. Cradle looks great when at any time, let alone when it's covered in snow.
Yeah, and that's definitely desaturated, that one.
A little.
So yeah.
Speaking of, I believe we still have a place left for our Cradle Mountain workshop, Tarkine Cradle Mountain workshop. Do we not? Not
if you read the notes, we don't.
We don't have a place left for anything anymore.
No, I sold that for us. One of the ladies that works at Marley's, Kelly, the lovely.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, nice. So she's wanting to come along. So she said, "Can I have that spot?" And I'll talk to you during the week and get it all sorted. So, unfortunately, Tarkine the Cradle, 15th of August to 20th of August is sold out now.
Sold out. Cool. Very good.
If you want to come and hang with us, you're gonna have to hang with us in March next year for a multi-day tour.
Yes.
Which is the east coast of Tassie, which will be stunningly beautiful.
Absolutely.
Bring your togs. It's it gets pretty warm, and we'll go for a swim at Bay of Fires or something.
If you want to see more information about our workshops, there's the website right there, dsps.com.au. Jump on and have a little look-see.
Yeah, that should be good.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's good when we've got a full house for Tarkine and Cradle Mountain in August. So I'm looking forward to that already.
Yeah, and it's funny, at least this lady, Kelly, she lives up in the Tarkine. So that's how good it is. She actually wants to go visit her own backyard with us. So,
which is fun. Exactly the reason I'm running a Bellarine Peninsula workshop in September, which I've had great interest in. It's funny, though, because we've talked about this before. It's where people, it's not like they're lazy or ignorant of where they live. They just don't know where the spots are, and if they're into their photography, they want to know where the good spots are, and that's where we take them. So it's cool.
It's really it is a bit. Even today, I've had a few phone calls today, and I told you about the other customer emailed me before, but we are just travel agents with a camera. Like we are just, and it's funny because today AC/DC tickets went on sale for their Australian tour, and I'm a big AC/DC fan. I won't tell you if I got tickets or not because let's move on. But Hello World, which is a travel agent, sent me. I must have signed up for their thingo ages ago. They must have had something on that I was interested in. They were doing concert packets, including accommodation, flights, dinners, pre-dinner, pre-drink, concert drinks, and stuff like that. So maybe we're in the wrong business. Maybe we need to call ourselves travel agents. Photography travel agents. You want to go somewhere, we'll set it up for you.
That's right. We'll get you organized and taking awesome photos there while we're at it. Why not?
Yeah.
As well as pina coladas by the pool.
And with all travel agents, we can just add 25% on top. So perfect.
25?
45?
Yeah, that sounds better. That's more like our style.
Yeah, you don't get out of bed. You don't get out of bed for less than 10,000 a day, do you?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah, 10,000 headaches. So let's talk a little bit about your trip to the Flinders. It sounds like you had a good time.
Yeah.
It's Flinders Ranges. For those of you who don't know, is in South Australia. It's about a 5-hour drive north of Adelaide. A bit more than that. 5-6 hour drive north of Adelaide. Five-ish hours north of Adelaide. We take it. It takes about 5.5 with a stop for lunch and a few photos along the way. But almost due north. You're sort of into the outback. You go over what's called the Goiter line, which is the sort of irrigation line in South Australia, where before it everything grows, after it nothing grows. And then you're up into the ranges, and it's a cool drive. I don't know if you've ever done the drive at the Flinders Ranges before, but I have not.
So you're driving along, and you can almost feel it in the car. Like you're driving for 2 hours, and then you're driving for 3 hours, and then you get to 4 hours, and people are like, "Where are these mountain things that we're going to?" Because it's just rolling hills and fairly flat, and then out of nowhere, these big towering cliffs all come off on the horizon. So it's really cool when you get there. You're sort of in the middle of nowhere, and it looks just like this big sort of abandoned mountain range that's just been left in the middle of nowhere. So, but it went well. We had good weather, had great guests. We had a really good group again. Everyone had a good time and got on well. And young Cheryl was there. Sadly, she had a bit of a cold halfway through, so she had a morning off. And so one of the other guys in the group took over the driving for half a day, which is lovely of them. So, but we had a good time. Good fun. Got some great photos.
Yeah, and we saw some of the photos coming through on the socials. If you don't follow that guy on the socials, you can jump on and have a look, and because quite often you'll see photos of the tours that he's on, not only by himself, but also from Cheryl and also from guests who are on the tours as well. As we do when we do our joint ones, we put them up for people to check out. And it was good to see the photos. I've really got to get there. It's definitely on the list. Maybe I'll come with you next year.
Well, next year we've got 2 of them, and they're both with the Oz Geo one. So if one of my helpers isn't available, then you're driving the other car, sir.
Sounds good to me. I'll get to see it eventually. That works.
Wasn't Abby going to go there on her travels? Was she planning?
Not this time around. Not to the Flinders. No.
She did talk about it though, didn't she? I think.
Yeah. It's still on her horizon for next year. She's got plans to travel Australia a lot more, and I'm sure Flinders Ranges will be on the list for sure. I might even go there with her. That sounds like a plan. And speaking of workshops, we had the pleasure of having friend of the show, Mr. Glyn Lavender, down to my shop on Sunday for his natural light portrait workshop. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The guy is a genius. Not only the way he gets amazing photos in the most ridiculous locations. He calls his workshop a bright, great portraits and shit locations. Well, some of the places we go to, particularly around Little Old Ocean Grove, we're talking about underground car parks.
I was going to say car parks. Yeah.
Oh, car parks. The guy knows how to loiter a car park, I tell you. Absolutely brilliant. Very, very lucky to have both number 1 and number 2 ticket holder of the show along on Sunday as well.
I saw them in there together.
Yeah, I know. What could possibly go wrong? And also a friend of the show, Monica from Utah, came along as well. So it was a little mini reunion.
I saw that. I did see that. And I saw Jenny in the Flinders. So
yes, that's right. She was talking a lot about Flinders and how much she enjoyed it. So
then she said, I'm going to go catch up with Glyn and Mel and the gang down your way. I'm like, oh yeah, of course. So, but no, Glyn is a bit of a genius, and although he tells you he's not, and he's no good at photography, and he should have quit, and he's not an artist, and he hates things. He doesn't do anything.
Too modest.
But he always produces the goods, doesn't he?
Yeah, we had a really good day. My lovely daughter Abby was one of the models as well, and it was great. She learnt a lot as well. She sat in on the 2-hour seminar before we went out taking photos, and she was like, "Dad, I think I need to get this lens, and I want to get that camera." And I was like, "Okay, here we go."
Shit.
Damn it. But yeah, shout out to Glyn. Thanks again for coming down. We will run his workshop in Ocean Grove again. However, if you just search Glyn Lavender online, he's the only Glyn Lavender in the world, apparently. He'll tell you that. If you just search him, he lists his workshops that he runs in Melbourne as well. I think he runs them in Northcote or something like that, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, look, that's right. Guys, do yourselves a favor. And then last night in my little shop, I had my entry-level SLR workshop, which probably people who listen to this show don't really need to do that workshop, but it's cool because if the two of the ladies that were at the workshop last night are true to their word, they are now watching. So hello.
Shout out. Do you give them a shout out? Do you remember their names?
It was Belinda.
Yes.
And it was Lanata.
Lanata.
How about that?
That's a fancy name.
I did remember. I was battling because it's not an easy one to remember, but it was Belinda and Lanata. So
it's still one of the things I struggle with a lot with doing workshops, or when you have like our little 1 day, and then you'll do like a 1-day workshop with someone, and yes, you spend a day with them, but they'll come up, you'll run into them 6 months down the track at a festival or something like that, and you're like, oh, I know the face.
Yeah.
Bug it if I can remember your name. I'm sorry, but they all know us because it's only one name we got to remember, not 6 or 7 or 8.
That's always my excuse as one of me and hundreds of other people. So funny you should mention that, because we had friend of the show and a lady who came with us on the Great Ocean Road last year appear in my shop today, and that was Janet.
All right. Oh, yes. Yes. I remember Janet.
Yeah, Janet popped in to say hi, which was awesome. And I did that blank thing. I know the face, but anyway, sorry. This is not great content. This is just you and I talking.
But but it gives people an insight that when they see us next, maybe wear a name tag or rock in and say, "Hey, my name's Janet. I spent a whole week with you down the Great Ocean Road. Don't you remember?"
Yeah, which is pretty much how it went down. And it was like, oh, I'm so sorry. But of course, the penny drops a couple of seconds later. You just got to.
Yes. You know what works for me? I've got that little notepad that I have with all the tours I've got and everyone's name. It's coming along. Yep. That's a great one to have on your phone when someone walks in. You're like, oh, I know that person. They're on the Bright Workshop. Let me have a quick look. It's Brenda. Yep, cool. No problems.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. So it is hard.
And you go, oh, hello, Ian. Oh, sorry, I mean Brenda.
Brenda. AI is going to fix that anyway. AI will all have things like little, light up things floating above our head as we walk around now. Just AI will create some sort of computer generated hologram above our head that has your name.
I can't wait. Cameron, I want to get into our topic. Can we do that?
Yes. You haven't given me much about this, but
no, because I don't want to. I want this to be as off the cuff as possible. I want to talk about photography gold.
Gold or goals?
Gold. GOLD.
Gold, Jerry.
Gold, Jerry.
Right. Okay. Okay. You mean like
Kodak
gold?
The question is, just wait for the question. After so many years behind the lens, what still drives us to chase photography gold? Now, the reason I'm asking this question is because 2 days ago, I was going to say yesterday again, but 2 days ago, got the gear out, went down the Great Ocean Road and got a couple of really cool shots. Every time I do that and, get that buzz again, that excitement, it's never really left me. And then I was looking and go, what is it? What is it that actually gives me that sensation? And it's a funny one. And what it always comes down to for me is being in the right place at the right time. It's just like, I feel incredibly lucky to be where I'm standing right now, to have a camera in my hand, but I think most importantly, have the knowledge on how to capture that scene. When those three things come together, so the location, everything kicks off, and you've got your gear there, and knowing how to take, so I guess fourth thing, knowing how to take the shot. Do you still get adrenalized?
It's a good question. I think I do. But I don't think I go looking for it as such. Yeah. I don't go looking for it. No, I don't feel like I go looking for that photography buzz. So for me, like I think I can probably separate. It's a good question. It's like separated into two different sort of areas. Like there's photography gold I look for when I'm on a tour and trying to get people to get them to feel the same passion and drive that you have to get those great shots. That only fulfills me a little bit though. Like it's great and it's amazing to see the great shots people get, and you get a buzz of adrenaline getting people there at the right time, like we do on the workshops. You can sort of sit back at the end of the day and we walk into the room and go, oh, that was awesome. Everyone got a great shot. Nailed it. We've delivered what they're paying us for. But on the other hand, my photography goal, what chases me is, it's going to sound weird, but it's a bit of isolation. Like I get more of a buzz in being in a place just on my own with my camera, as opposed to going with a mate or going to really populated places where you might stand on the lookout or go to a really popular waterfall or something like that. What drives me to keep trying to get those great shots, it's more about me having time to go and do it. It's more the journey as opposed to the actual photo at the end. And what I've found in my experience is, and that Cradle Mountain shot's a classic one, even though Chelsea was there, we're doing the pregnancy shots. That was 3 minutes at most of a beautiful moment that no one else in the world saw apart from her and I. And they're the moments I go looking for, are those moments where there's no one seeing what I'm seeing. And as a reward of that, I find that my photography is much better on those moments than it is if I'm with some friends or if I'm on a group thing or if I'm doing a workshop or stuff like that. So, yeah, what drives me to chase that gold is, I guess, the experience of having a place to yourself that you just don't get much these days because everyone's everywhere.
Yeah,
that'd be my gold.
Yeah, it's interesting when you talk about it that way, because when I'm out, I guess I get a little bit of that as well, but I don't get it as much as I used to, and I think maybe I'm a little bit jaded insofar as being in the retail side of things. And I was talking to a friend of mine this morning. Shout out to Hugh. He came in and he's a real estate agent here in Ocean Grove. And we're talking about our jobs. It just came up. We're just talking about our jobs. And I just said to him straight off, I said, I love my job, because he likes his job, but real estate agent, it's that would have its moments.
For sure.
And then I was like, well, why do I love my job? And then I just straight away reflected on, well, I've just been out taking some photos, got some great shots as well.
Yeah.
And I thought what I could do is sort of deconstruct that and say and try and get it across to people. So people who went to my entry-level workshop last night, I could tell I wanted them to have what I've got, and that is the drive to take great photos. And once you've got that knowledge down pat, and it starts in your backyard, like it starts going out and saying, okay, if I want to get this scene, I need this ISO, I need this shutter speed, I need this aperture, getting that right and repetitive and doing it so that when the moment comes and you put it into practice, that's gold.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm sort of coming from here. Knowing that you've got the tools of the trade, that you've got a good camera, you've got a camera. You don't even need a good camera.
Yeah,
you've got a camera. Yeah. You've got a camera that's got some manual control over it, so you can control light coming in, going out, coming in, all that sort of stuff. But being able to weave all that together and then having that moment when, and I think you and I and a lot of pro photographers, I don't want to say take it for granted. We sort of, it's almost like when a golfer gets a hole in one. Yeah, they've got the hole in one. I've never had a hole in one. Do you know what I've got? I've got hope.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps motivating me. You and I have both been lucky enough over the journey to take some really good photos. I've taken about 2. You've taken about 700. But the thing is that I look back at those photos and it's like I want to get that again. A photo that can I just throw a photo up on the screen as well?
Go for it.
This shot here. Now, this was taken.
It's on film.
I want to say in 1994. So this is going back a ways. I was about 21, 22 years old, and it's shot on film. And there's a lot of elements that came together to get this shot. One is the light. This is shot on film. This is not digitally manipulated in any way. This is straight from the negative.
Straight out of camera.
Straight out of camera. There was so this is taken in a place called Tincam Bay in southeast Queensland, and I was down by the sort of shoreline, but in the distance they were burning sugarcane back when that was a thing. I don't think they're allowed to do that anymore, but they were burning sugarcane, and the smoke was causing this filter over the sun. You can see the pelican's backlit, see the light coming through the top of its head, and there's a bit of sunlight on the back wing there. So this is backlit, and it's like, what do I do? Like, this is silhouetted. The light is incredible. The pelican happened to sort of go in behind a houseboat, and the houseboat was moored there, and I climbed on board and I got up onto the roof of the houseboat. And what you're looking at is sunlight being reflected off the side of the houseboat back into the the front of the pelican to light it up like that. Yeah. And then it was just like, wow. Like a natural, natural is a houseboat, but as a natural sort of reflector. And that was my first taste of photography gold. Yeah. And I think ever since then I've been that's what inspires me and what gets me back out to keep taking photos. So and it is a feeling. It's more than just an image, it's a feeling that you get.
Yeah, it's definitely a feeling. I think we're similar but different in a way. Like I find more photography gold when I don't go looking for it, when I don't try and make it happen, if that makes sense as well. Like a lot of people will go out and say, I'm going to go out and I want to get some great photos here. But if I do that, I usually come home with a bucket of shit. I'm not happy with it. But when I go out just to get away from things or have a bit of time to myself, I'll take the camera and maybe something will happen, maybe not. But it's always those moments when I'm not really, it's almost when you're naturally just switching off, but your natural instinct kicks in that you get the shots. I tell you who's got who's doing well with the photography gold and talking about your customers and stuff like that. Shazbang, Sharon Thorogood.
Yes.
She has the bug. She loves photography. She's out. Yep. She's improving. Every shot she puts up is better than the last. She's understanding light. She's understanding composition. She's going to places. She's traveling. She's doing some amazing shots. And from watching her progress from when we first met her to now, like that gives me a bit of a photography buzz. Yeah, because I'm like, well, we've put a fair bit of work and inspiration into her journey. She's obviously taken it by herself and taken it on as well. But like that sort of stuff is from the business side of point of view. That's where I get a bit of that adrenaline, and that I feel like that's what sort of keeps driving me to do my job. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's an interesting one, and I think
I'll tell you what was pretty cool. What you just said then was, and shout out to Shaz, who's an avid watcher of the show, and I don't understand why she's not a number one ticket holder, but maybe this week she is. So there you go. Mel and Jen, you can have a back seat for this week. Shaz is our number one ticket holder this week.
Yeah, Shaz bang.
When you were just saying that, and you were saying how, Sharon is a prime example of someone who has progressed their photography, I equate it to learning a language. Go and learn French. Go on.
No. I don't want to learn French.
And I think that's the way I've got to look at it is when I do an entry-level workshop, when someone walks in, they've got the camera and they've just got that blank look on their face. It's like me trying to learn French. Like, think about that. Like, how much of a mountain do I have to climb to learn French? But if I kept at it week after week, if I picked up, an app or something, then I had to eventually, in 2-3 years' time, I'd be speaking French. Exactly the same with photography. You've got to pick up your camera and use it regularly so that, as I say, when those golden moments come, you bag them,
ready to get them. Yeah. That's right. Five-star Dan, shout out to him. He didn't know photography at all before we started doing our workshops and stuff together. He knew how to point a camera and press a button, but that was about it. But he said it towards the end of, I think it was last year. He actually, one of the only times he really addressed a group when I wasn't addressing him, and someone said to him, "Oh, you got some really lovely compositions there, Dan, and that light's lovely and stuff like that." They're like, "Oh, you've got a great teacher. You must have been." He goes, "It's pretty simple, folks. Listen, practice." He goes, "That's all it takes. Just listen to what the language is, as you say, and go and practice it." Like. People used to, and you and I were both the same growing up when we were shooting film, people used to think I was an absolute freak because I'd go through 5 rolls of film a week. I'd go out after work taking shots of whatever on film, or I'd be doing this. It all adds up to now when you and I go out and we see a moment, we've got all the tools ready to go. And, 9 times out of 10, we could probably do it with our eyes closed to get a shot that we would be overly happy with. And then it's just those magical Mother Nature moments that really take the shot to the next level. But it's not just something you can learn overnight. And I think that's something people maybe forget. They think, oh, I've got the $1,000 camera and I'm on a workshop, so I should be able to walk away from this week and be an absolute professional knowing everything. It's like any discipline, like playing guitar or something like that. You're not going to learn it overnight. You've got to practice.
That's right. Yeah. And photography is a classic case of learning by doing. So you've just got to, you can't read. You can't just keep reading or watching YouTube clips. Get your camera and have your camera in your lap when you're watching TV or just around the house and just have it at hand so that you learn it. It's, again, like you say, it's like practicing guitar, get that thing down. It's not going to practice itself. It's not going to play strum itself.
Do you remember that? Do you remember the episode of The Simpsons where Homer tries to invent the makeup gun? Do you remember that? And he shoots Marge in the face.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, and
I think you had it set to whore.
Yeah, Homer, you had it set to whore. That's a little bit. That's a little bit like this as well. Like people get these cameras and just think if they point it out that way, magic comes back. That's not like you've got to know what you're looking for. Ladies know how to apply nice makeup. Homer Simpson doesn't because he had the wrong tool and he had the wrong knowledge. So you've just got to practice it and the best thing that we've got here is like we don't have film cameras anymore, really. Like we are absolutely sport rotten. Like growing up in our day and Glenn Lavender's day and those guys who learned on film, you didn't know how you went until you got the film back. And then you went, well, that whole moment's gone. Shit, what do I do now? Oh, I've got to wait till that next moment and then maybe tweak it. If I remember from last time when I went wrong, I got to tweak it for the next row when I go right. So digital photography is such a great teacher in itself because you've got instant feedback straight away.
Yeah, it is. I found a notebook the other day because I'm in the middle of tidying up various rooms in my house. And I found this notebook and it was so old. And I opened the first couple of pages and literally written was 1 in a circle and it said F8 and it had different different apertures and shutter speeds and stuff. And it said 2. And I realized that was my running notes for back in the day when I was really learning. I'm talking, this is 1991, when I got my K1000. And EXIF data. I was making my own EXIF data. I was writing it out so that I could say, and then I remember I would take 5 frames at 5 different aperture settings to teach myself aperture because kids, Google weren't a thing back then.
No, and the parents didn't talk to us back then either.
Well, that's right. My parents wouldn't have known what aperture meant. I mean, and it's, it was so cool, and it was so cool to find those notes too, and just remember how far we've both come. Like, as you say, you used to go out after work and shoot film, and I was doing the same. And I reckon, Cam, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I reckon I was getting film processed for about $5.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you knew the girls in the lab well enough, you got it done for free.
Well, that's true, yeah. But I'm talking about Swan Hill Camera House days.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't have been much. No. Well, even like the large format cameras that I've got, where you do the 4x5 sheet film, I bought a little book years ago at the Salamanca Market before we moved here. It's like this little Hue and Pine or Blackwood flip notepad, and in it, I used to every shot I did, I would write down what settings I had, what time I shot. I'd even do little sketches of the scene. I'd sketch the scene and I'd do meter readings on different areas of the scene and say, right, that shadow there, that's F4, that sky's about F16, the trunk of the tree is F8. And then you sort of average it out based on what kind of dynamic range you had on the film. And I'd have all this written down in the book before I even pressed the button. So it was like a page of notes before you even spent, back then it was only a couple of bucks, but now it's like $10 a pop. Hey, speaking of film cameras, I bought a film camera the other day. Yes. I finally got my hands back on a Leica M6 again.
Ooh, nice.
Nice, yeah. Funnily enough, I was shopping on eBay, as you do, and this is all Adelaide's fault. Again, another reason why I don't like Adelaide. Adelaide's got a very cool secondhand shop. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called Photo Co. It's run by Camera House.
Yes.
It's in the market area in whatever part of Adelaide it is. It is a very, very cool old secondhand shop. Anyway, they had an M6 in the window. I went, oh, that'd be nice. It's $5,500. I went, you're kidding me. So then I got the bug and I started looking online. I'm like, oh, what else have we got? What else have we got? Anyway, I ended up getting one for a pretty good price from someone online. And then the next day I got a message from Mark at DigiDirect saying, why are you lowballing my staff members about Leica M6s? It was someone who worked at someone who worked at DigiDirect whose camera
you can't go far in this industry, can you?
No, and the guy had taken it into work the next day to pack it up and send it to me, and Mark saw the label and went, oh, yeah, I know him. And he goes, oh, he's been lowballing me all week. So thanks to the guy who sold it. But yeah, I'm going to put a roll of film through it. Like, that's a photography gold buzz now. I'm like, oh, I've got a new toy to go play with and see what happens.
Put a roll of film through it and then put it back on eBay for $2,000 more. Sweet.
That's the plan. But it's starting to chrome. You know how they brass a bit? It's starting to sort of wear a bit as well.
It's starting to patina.
Is that the word? Is it patina?
Patina. Yeah.
That sounds like one of your customers. It sounds like one of your customers from an entry level.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, there's not a day go by. Look at my little Spotmatic there. My K1000's at the shop at the moment. Did you see? Shout out to the guys at the Camera Life. Who'd they have on?
Nick Fletcher today?
No, that was today. It was last week. They had someone on. Oh, Rodney Nicholson. No, you don't know who Rodney Nicholson, I don't think. But Rod Nicholson is at Point Lonsdale. He's literally just the suburb over from me.
Right.
And they were talking to him about what was your first camera. And he said, oh, it was a Pentax K1000. And they both stopped and went, did everyone ever, when they started photography, have a K1000? And it's like, yep, I think they did.
Well, I wonder how many K1000s they made.
A lot, because it was made for a long time. There's mine. I knew it wasn't far away. It's never far away. I've got 3 of those. You gave me one.
Yeah, I did.
I love that camera.
All right. Okay. We're going to run a competition. Here you go.
Is this a pop quiz now or a comment below, but don't Google it.
That's the thing. You can't Google it. Yeah, maybe it can't be a competition because someone's going to cheat. All right.
Just
how many?
Right.
Okay. To the nearest number.
Yeah.
Well, actually, to the nearest number. How many K1000 Pentaxes were produced between 1976 and 1997?
Okay.
No one wins anything, but let's see if you know.
I haven't Googled this because I'm probably going to be wrong. I've got a feeling it's quite a high number. I'm going to say.
What's that? That's 31 years.
31 years. 9 million.
Just over 3 million.
Oh, okay, right. I was way off. Yeah, but that's still a lot.
That's a lot of cameras. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 million of the same model. That is a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot of cameras. So just to give you an idea, the Leica M6 that I've bought here, almost identical sort of camera, full manual, the whole lot. It was made from 1984 to 2002, so maybe slightly less years. Only 175,000 were made.
That's right.
So 3 million Pentax. No wonder everyone had one.
Yeah. Now, if you are looking for a Pentax K1000, the later models were made in China. The earlier ones were made in Japan. So
China. In China.
Yeah, and there is a definite difference in build quality. You can tell the design's identical, but the materials weren't quite as good that they used. So look for a made in Japan version if you can get your hands on one, like this one is. 2 of my 3 were made in Japan.
Yeah. So did I tell you that I sent my Olympus film cameras overseas to get fixed?
Yes, you did.
I did. I
finally got them all.
They're all back and they are mint. It's like brand new. That guy did an incredible job. And I took them up to the Flinders Ranges. I had one with black and white film and one with slide film. So I got a few rolls of slides and stuff got to get done over the next few weeks. So I might share some of those in the coming episodes.
Who's processing for you?
I was going to just do Van Bars in Melbourne.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Yep.
I've got some C41 black and white, though. That might come to you. I know you can't do it. Geelong Camera House.
My guys can do it.
I can. The Camera House, you can do the C41 stuff.
Yes, exactly.
So, yeah.
Anyway, so photography gold, folks. The reason why I brought all this up was because keep searching for it. And I see, sadly, a lot of people give up. I've over the journey of running camera and photo, a week wouldn't go past where someone doesn't bring in an SLR that they bought 7 or 8 years ago that doesn't work anymore because they just left the battery in it and it leaked in the camera, or the battery just trickled out, hadn't been charged, so it drops below its voltage required to even charge the thing. And it's really sad. So I want to try and sort of stop that. I want people to get the bug that you and I have got so that they keep taking photos and keep chasing the gold. So get after it, folks.
Maybe they should join us somewhere and we'll give them the bug.
Well, they can if they want. Sure. Can I do a really quick gear talk? Is that all right?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Sure, show.
I got these. Thank you. I got these printers in the other day. The little Kodak Mini 2 Retro printer. And the reason I bring it up this week is because of our good friend Glenn Lavender. During his natural light portrait workshop, mentioned that he carries one of these with him when he travels overseas. In particular to places like Bangladesh and India. And he will take a portrait of someone and then he will take 5 minutes to print it out and give them a copy of it. And from his experience, it's been life-changing for people. They've never seen a printed photo of themselves. And they will take that photo back to their village or to their little township and people are fascinated with it. They'll walk around with it and show it off, and they think they're a king for a day, which is absolutely brilliant. So I got these into stock just recently, and they are amazing. So they connect via Bluetooth. Let me get that off the screen. So here's one I prepared earlier. That's the black. I showed the yellow version. That's the black version. It comes in white as well. And look, there's cam reflected in it. And that's that's the size of them. So they're about the size of my phone. So they're pretty small.
And they come with packets of paper, obviously.
So, yeah, that's right. So they're dye sublimation. So you get a cartridge and enough pieces of paper. You can buy packs of 30. It works out at about $1 a photo, which I get is not overly cheap, but then again, it kind of is. I mean, and as I say, Bluetooth. So it basically you get an app on your phone. So nowadays you can send photos from your camera to your phone, and then via the app you send it to the printer. And it really is as simple as that. It's like 3 steps, and it prints out a photo on dye sub, and the color accuracy is amazing, and $199 for a printer. So cool. Very, very cool. Very, very cool idea.
Have you got yellow ones in stock?
I've got yellow, white, and black.
Can I buy a yellow one off you?
You can. I'll send it to you tomorrow.
I'd like to take one on workshops.
Yes, I think you should, because the app is really cool as well. It's the typical Instagram crap. You can put pictures and stuff, but you can chuck a white border on, and it looks really cool. It's like a mini Polaroid with a white border.
We all know white borders make everything better.
See, there you go. There's one with a white.
That's cool.
border.
I just like how cool was that van we saw up in Swan Hill that day?
Oh my God, I know.
That
is proper Kodak yellow, isn't it?
Yeah. That's why I want the yellow one. Yeah, can you bill me and send me one, please? That'd be great.
I can make that happen.
With maybe an extra lot of paper as well. That'd be great.
Consider it happening. I'll send you that. You send me my flash.
Well, I could have dropped the flash off the other day, but yeah. Do you want me to send that to you?
I'll probably need it at some point. I might just grab it off you when I come over in August. We have a Dear Cam. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Sure. Dear Cam. Sorry, by the way, I'm doing this from my phone tonight because I've left my laptop at work. That's no one needs to know that, Brendan, in a monologue. Dear Cam and Brendan, thank you. I'm going to be in the Flinders Ranges. Can you believe it? In a couple of weeks. I'm planning to take a scenic flight over. This person must have known you were going there. Over the Flinders Ranges and Lake Eyre. Ooh, hello.
Yes.
What camera settings and lens would you recommend? Enjoy the show enormously. Isn't that nice? Keep up the good work. Regards, Stephen.
I was going to say, regards, Brendan Waits.
Yeah, that's right. Regards, Brendan's dad. Right, Cam, you've just been there, so
just been there.
Settings on flights can be tricky, right?
There can be-ish. So we did the Flinders Ranges one. So when I do my Flinders Ranges shots, I still leave mine on aperture priority. You're generally shooting down at a flat surface as such with not much depth, unless you get the mountains like that would lead out a bit. So I generally get up on around about f4, f5.6 on aperture priority, and I leave my auto ISO on now. I just shoot auto ISO and let it go. So that'd be one way to do it. The other way to do it would be to put it to shutter speed priority and put it maybe at 1,000th of a second at auto ISO. It's probably going to give you a roughly the similar sort of aperture, maybe a bit wider, but at least will guarantee you some fast shutter speed all the way through. So either aperture priority, sort of f4 5.6 on auto ISO is how I like to. Sometimes you might have to change that aperture accordingly, and keeping an eye on that shutter speed, or you do shutter speed priority and set it to 1,000th of a second at auto ISO and go from there. Going over Flinders Ranges, if you can take the doors off, please do. Shooting through windows of planes can be quite tricky. If you can't take the doors off or you don't want to take the doors off. Side note, when you take the doors off on this sign, you've actually got to operate the flaps on the way in and out of the airport. You got to stick your hand out the window and press a little button that engages the flaps where the door's normally closed, and the flaps come out. And it's funny as. So windows can be a problem. So something else we recommend if you're in a windowed plane is to wear like black clothing so you don't reflect on the window. If I have my red jumper on reflecting on a plane window, you'll have red reflecting all the way through. So dark clothing. I still use a polarizer. Sometimes a polarizer can help with any of that sort of stuff that happens on windows, that funny artifacty stuff. And if I think I know which flight you're going to do, you'll probably fly fairly low over Lake Eyre. So, trying to get shots more so down as opposed to out. Like a lot of my aerial shots will only have a little bit of any sky in the shot. It's all the landscape below. So just keep that in mind. But that'd be about it. Auto ISO, shutter priority or aperture priority. Just make sure that shutter speed's nice and fast, and away you go.
We've talked a lot about auto ISO in the past, how much better it now is, because Noise and high ISOs and things. It's one area of cameras that's really improved a lot. Noise reduction and that sort of stuff. So don't be afraid to use auto ISO these days. And you can it's sort of almost like a semi-auto ISO because you can set parameters for your auto ISO. You can say, I want to max out at 3200 ISO or whatever you want to max it out to. So it won't go beyond that for you.
Yeah. So keep that in mind as well, is that you can limit or clip, I guess, or set the ISO to be stopping at a certain amount or not to going below a certain amount. So keep that in mind as well with how you do it. But yeah, it's a good experience. And like, don't be afraid to take a lot of shots either. Like you're up there, like Flinders Ranges to Lake Eyre, that's an hour and a half, 2-hour flight up and back. So you're in the air for a while. So don't be afraid to sort of take plenty of shots. Like there's no shame in taking, like we did that 20-minute flight and I think I took 600 shots. Just hold the button down, get as many options as you can, and then you'll be right. So yeah, have fun. It's good fun.
Good one, Stephen. Thank you. If you have a DearCam question, send it into us. You can do that at dsps.com.au. Yeah, our email address is there. You can jump on and send us a DearCam question. We'll happily answer it for you on the show. Beer donations, Cameron.
Well, I don't know when the last ones we read out were, but it looks like Mel Haddon, and Jenny Cooper have bought beers in the last couple of weeks.
I didn't put Jenny on there. Whoops, hang on. Let me fix that. Please,
Jenny I didn't put it on there, and I just double checked it now. So thank you for you guys. If you'd like to buy us a beer, you know where to go, dsps.com.au. You can buy us a beer, you can buy us a jug, you can buy us a slab, or you can buy us a pellet.
A pellet of beer. What's involved in that?
You just press slab times 20. Can you imagine if a pellet of beer rocked up at your shop?
Wouldn't say no.
Wouldn't say no. Right next to the profile frame delivery, there's a pellet of beer. I know which one's getting unpacked first.
Yes, I'm getting a pellet of profile frames in the next couple of days as well. So maybe they could send me a pellet of beer for all the frames I've sold for them. Yeah.
Do you get paid to sell them?
Barely.
How is retail these companies? Is retail going well? Is it busy?
Yeah, it's okay. We had April was really bad, and then May. So I had my worst April since COVID.
Right.
Which was just, you can't pick it, mate. It's just out of the blue. This happens, and then I had my best May on record. And June's shaping up to be slightly above average as well. So yeah, you can never pick it, but it's fun. I love it. I do enjoy it. I really do enjoy retail. I'm just not very good at it.
I'll tell you who's not having a good June.
Who's that?
The Carlton Football Club.
What's the score? No, sorry, we're live on air. We can't do that. It's not a football show.
It's 10 goals to 2. It's great.
Yeah, enjoy retirement, Vossi. It's been nice knowing you.
Yes, it's not a football show, but geez, when it comes to Carlton, certainly lucky to make exceptions.
Exactly. Cam, what do you got coming up?
Nothing. I'm resting.
Good. You deserve it. You've done the hard yards, and now you can put your feet up.
I got a week and a half off, then I'm off to the Red Centre to do our Red Centre workshop.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
So I'm looking forward to that. I've never been there. I've never worked with this company before, but World Expeditions are renowned for doing good stuff. So I think we'll make a good partnership and might take my new camera with some film. Who knows?
Will you go into the East McDonnell Ranges?
Yes, we do West and East McDonnell Ranges.
Okay. Keep an eye out for a place called Trafina Gorge.
Okay.
Yep. I went there a long time ago and have always promised myself I'd go back there. It's got beautiful ghost gums.
Oh, yes, we do that one. I've seen the pictures of it.
Oh, Trafina's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Thank you very much. You might wouldn't it be awesome if you got a bit of rain and reflections and stuff? Because it does. There's been a bit of water through there, so you might still have some big billabongs and things.
I've between you and I've got a little kitty of money that's aside, maybe $1,000 or so, for whenever there's a massive rain shower going over Uluru that I know it's coming and can get up there and be around. I want to see that. That's a photography gold shot. Is getting that moment of waterfalls coming off Uluru. That would be pretty damn impressive. And the reason is my grandmother, Beryl, who's still kicking on. She'd be 98 this year.
Good on you, Beryl.
Shout out to Beryl. She wouldn't even know what YouTube is, but hey, good on her. She had a picture from Ken Duncan on her wall as I was a kid growing up. I had that classic shot of his. I'm like, oh, that'd be cool. So one day I might get there and I might be lucky. Who knows?
My dad drove school coaches buses to Uluru, and for about 10 years, and he saw Rain on the Rock twice, and got some pretty decent photos of it too. Yeah, and he said it's pretty cool. So yeah, hopefully you get to see it. That'd be awesome.
It would be awesome. Yeah.
So you've never been. You've never been.
I've never been to Ellis, never been to Uluru, never been anywhere there.
Careful, you might get addicted. It is pretty amazing landscape through that area.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get addicted. So so this is the first one we're doing with World Expeditions, but I think there'll be more coming along, and maybe next year I'll make some money.
It's overrated. Who needs it?
Yeah, it's so. Cool. All right. What do you got going? What are you doing? Just watch stuff.
So what have I got coming up at the moment? I tell you, can I share, just give a little story real quick? I went up to Beaufort over the last weekend.
To play golf.
I did. I got roped into the local Beaufort Golf Club annual tournament, which is brilliant, by the way. There's an area around Beaufort. There's a place right behind Beaufort. I believe it's probably part of the Lower Pyrenees, and you can actually spy the Grampians from there as well. It's gorgeous. It is such a beautiful part of the world, particularly this time of year. I went up there very, very early, and I took my drone because I wanted to get a shot of the fog rising out of the valley, and it was hilarious. I got there, I reckon, 10 minutes too late because I got my drone to 120 meters, which is the ceiling for the drone, so 400 feet, 120 meters. And I reckon the fog had already lifted to 125.
Damn it.
It was right. I was like, oh, no. And then it was like, do I break the law? Of course I don't. So I lowered it.
I was going to say, of course you do.
Went and played golf instead. So, shout out to Beaufort. Great little town. Do yourselves a favor, get up there and check that area out.
Well, I drove through it the other day. It was great.
It's a good spot. What have I got coming up? I've got the running Ocean Grove camera and photo, of course. I don't think I've got my entry-level workshop running again on Wednesday next week, so that'll be good. Getting some more people chasing the gold. Did I just invent something? It doesn't matter.
I think you might have, but I wouldn't do it again.
No, I won't do it. But other than that, it'll be back at it. Thank you to all 1,282 subscribers here on YouTube. Please hit the subscribe button down there if you're interested in this kind of stuff and want to hear and see some more. Shout out to everyone on the audio side of things as well who are following along. The audio channels are doing very well as well. If we've been talking about photos and you've been listening to us while you're at the gym, jump onto YouTube and check out the photos.
Yeah, do it. Hey, I was talking to our friend Chelsea the other day. You know how we used to do.
I've never actually met Chelsea.
Haven't you?
Not in person.
You should interview her. She'd be great to talk about how to get your photos out there.
Yes.
We're talking about the timestamps on the show that we used to do.
Yes. Time code.
And time code. And she goes, "Why don't you just get AI to do them?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Just send the audio file and just say, can you create timestamps for this?" Did you know that?
YouTube Studio does it, and it's notoriously inaccurate.
Even better. That'd be funny. That'd be funny as.
Yeah, I tried it. I think I was about to give up, and I went, "Oh, hang on, YouTube can do it." And then I tried it, and it was way off. Like it wasn't even close. Right. It might have got better since, but because AI
I would never have thought of.
Kill us all.
I would never have thought that it would do something. That's very clever.
It is.
That does all the hard work for us.
It is.
I
guess that's right. I guess the good news for all our listeners is they'll get a show out of us next week.
Yes, they will. What's next week? I got nothing on.
I think we're both around. That's a win.
That is a win. Yeah. It won't be next Thursday though. I can't record next Thursday.
Wednesday night you can.
Wednesday night I can. Thursday night next week I'm talking to all the Red Centre people on a Zoom call. So
I talked to the Horsham Camera Club last week.
Oh, Horseham. That's a funny name for a town.
How were they? So good.
No.
Shout out to everyone who came along to that. That was really cool. It was on Zoom, by the way. I wasn't physically there in person, but it was on Zoom.
Yeah.
Cool. It was excellent. A couple of beef hoppers were in the room. That was cool.
That's always dangerous.
Yeah, so shout out to Horsham Camera Club for having me along. I think that's all for now, Cameron.
Okay, all right. That was fun. We should do this again next week.
Let's do it. That is the podcast. This has been episode 167 of the Down South Photo Show. We will see you for episode 168 next week. Say goodbye, Cameron.
Goodbye, Cameron. Bye. Only 32 episodes to go. It's pretty cool.
For what?
To like 200 eps.
Oh, till we raise the bat again?
Yeah, double century.
I like it. Okay, bye.
We have to do something special.